She said she was staying with a friend to reset. I sent flowers to the friend. The friend posted them and said, "Who sent these? Haven't seen her in months." I replied, "Guess she's resetting somewhere else. My name's Kyle. I'm 34. I manage a hardware store in Rockford, Illinois. It's not glamorous, but it's steady, and I'm proud of what I've built. I've always worked hard, paid my dues, and tried to treat people right. I met Tessa through mutual friends at a 4th of July barbecue. She wasn't flashy, but she lit up a room. She had that kind of energy that made people lean in when she talked. She had this messy kind of charm, always a little chaotic, always laughing too loud, always moving like she was late to something. I liked that about her. Felt like life wouldn't be boring with her around. We started dating that same month. Both of us had baggage. She had a long-term ex who cheated on her, and I had one who ghosted me after 3 years. So we agreed from day one. No lies, no secrets, no running. That was the promise. We moved in together after about a year. Things were good. Not perfect, but good. We fought sometimes, sure. Her job in real estate stressed her out. I worked long hours. But we always came back to each other. Then came September. She started acting weird. Not bad weird. Just different. Quieter. Distracted. One day she came home and said she felt burnt out. Work was draining her. Her mom was pressuring her to settle down. She said she felt like she was drowning and needed time to clear her head. I asked if I was part of the problem. She said no. That it was just everything. Then she said she was going to Madison, Wisconsin, to stay with her friend Holly for a bit. Just a few weeks, she said. No big deal. I just need to unplug. Think. Reset. I wasn't thrilled, but I didn't want to make it worse. I told her to go. Told her I loved her. She said it back, hugged me, and left the next day. She texted every few days. Said she was journaling, meditating, walking around the lake. Sometimes she didn't reply for a day or two. Said she was off-grid. I figured she needed that space. Then I did something stupid. Or smart. Depends how you look at it. I wanted to surprise her. So I sent flowers to Holly's house. Nothing crazy. Just roses and lilies with a card that said, "Hope you're finding what you need. I love you." 2 days later, I was scrolling Facebook and stopped cold. Holly had posted a picture of the flowers on her kitchen table with this caption. "Does anyone know who sent these? Haven't seen Tessa in months." Not weeks. Months. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I commented, "Guess she's resetting somewhere else." I didn't say anything else. Just let it sit there. Within minutes, people started liking the post. A few commented, "WTF?" or tagged friends. Then came the private messages. "Are you okay? What's going on? What did she do?" I didn't respond. Later that night, my phone rang. It was Tessa. "What the hell did you do?" she yelled the second I picked up. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "I sent you flowers. To Holly's house. You said that's where you were." She went quiet. Then she said, "I was going to explain, you had time. You could have told me the truth." Then I hung up. I didn't sleep that night. I just kept thinking about every little thing from the past few months. Every time she pulled away. Every, "I'm tired," or, "I need space." Every lie she must have told to cover her tracks. But I wasn't angry yet. Not really. I was numb. It hadn't sunk in. Not fully. The anger came later. And when it did, I made a choice. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to make sure she knew exactly what she threw away. And I was going to take my time doing it. After I hung up on Tessa, I expected a flood of texts. Maybe a long message explaining everything. Maybe even an apology. Instead, I got nothing. Nothing the next day. Or the day after. So I dug. I went on her Instagram. She hadn't posted since July. But she was tagged in a picture 2 weeks ago, some random rooftop bar in Chicago, smiling with a group I didn't recognize. The caption said, "Girls Night Fire #citylights." I clicked on the profiles of the other people in the photo. That's when I saw him. His name was Chase. The guy had that finance bro look, tight shirt, gelled hair, smug smile. He had his arm around Tessa in one of the pictures from that same night. She looked relaxed, happy, like someone who wasn't worried about hurting anybody. I scrolled through his account. Found more photos. One from a Cubs game, for weeks ago. She was with him. Same smile. Same cozy body language. That's when it hit me. She hadn't needed space. She hadn't gone to reset. She'd gone to cheat. And not just once. This had been going on. For months. And she lied right to my face about it. Kissed me goodbye, told me she loved me, and then drove off to someone else's arms. It stopped being about heartbreak. Now it was about respect. About making sure she felt what I felt, every ounce of betrayal, every second of silence, every lie dropped like a brick on my chest. I didn't want to hurt her physically. I'm not that guy. But emotionally? I wanted her world to crack. So I started with her job. Tessa worked at a mid-sized real estate firm in Rockford. Her Instagram and LinkedIn were all about branding and reputation. Her image mattered to her. She always said perception was everything in her field. So I made a fake Gmail. Sent screenshots of the pictures with Chase, plus a timeline I pieced together from her social media and his. I attached her original post about needing a mental health break and said, "Thought you should know one of your agents is using company resources and client meetings as cover for personal vacations and affairs." I don't know if they believed it all, but 2 days later, she was removed from the company website. Next came her family. Her mom used to call me her rock. She always told me I was the one who brought calm to Tessa's life. So I sent her mom a letter. Old school, printed it out, mailed it. Included copies of the photos with Chase and the Facebook flower post. Did I feel bad? At first. A little. But then I remembered Tessa sitting across from me at dinner 2 months ago, smiling, holding my hand, while probably texting that guy under the table. She messaged me a week later. "I don't know what the hell you've done, but it needs to stop. You've made your point." I didn't reply. She followed it up with, "You're acting insane. This is why I needed space. You're controlling." I almost laughed at that one. Then, a few days later, she called again. This time she didn't yell. She sounded small. "Can we talk?" she asked. "Like really talk?" I said, "Sure. Meet me. In person." She agreed. We planned to meet at a coffee shop in town. Neutral ground. She showed up 10 minutes late, looking worn down. Eyes red. No makeup. Hair tied up like she hadn't slept in days. I sat across from her. "Didn't say a word," she said. "I made a mistake. I waited." She said. "It started months ago. I didn't mean for it to. It was just. I felt lost, and he was there. I didn't think it would turn into anything." I asked her, "So the reset story, you just made that up?" She looked down. "Yeah." I nodded. "And Holly? You knew I'd believe that because you knew I trusted you." She didn't answer. Then I asked her something else. "Did you ever plan to tell me? Or were you going to keep me on standby until you decided?" She looked up, and I swear to God, I saw something flicker in her eyes. Not sadness. Not guilt. Relief. Like she was glad I'd caught her so she didn't have to keep lying. That pissed me off more than anything else. "You didn't just cheat," I told her. "You insulted me. You made me feel crazy for trusting you. You didn't just break my heart. You made me doubt myself." "I know," she whispered. "I'm sorry." I leaned in. "I'm not done yet. Tessa sat there, staring at her coffee like she wished it would disappear. I stayed across from her, steady, calm. Not because I wasn't boiling inside, I was, but because I knew showing anger would give her something to push back against. I wanted her to sit with what she did. I wanted it to hurt. "You said you're sorry," I said. "But do you even know what you're sorry for?" She didn't answer right away. Just sat there chewing the inside of her cheek. Then she said, "For lying. For hurting you." I shook my head. "You're sorry you got caught. If Holly never posted those flowers, I'd still be at home, sending you money for groceries and thinking you're doing yoga and finding yourself." She opened her mouth like she had something to say but stopped herself. That silence told me everything. I left the coffee shop without another word. I walked out, didn't look back, and got in my truck. That should have been the end. Should have been it. But then I got a call 2 days later from a number I didn't recognize. It was Derek, Chase's roommate. "Found me through Facebook. I don't know you," he said. "But I saw your comment on Holly's flower post and did some digging. I think we got something in common." I didn't say much. Just listened. Turned out, Chase had a girlfriend too. Megan. 3 years in. Lived together in Chicago. Derek told me she didn't know about Tessa yet. I met up with him in person the next weekend. We sat in a diner off I-90 and shared stories. He showed me pictures from inside the apartment, Tessa's shoes by the door, her overnight bag, even a selfie she posted on Snapchat with Chase's dog in the background. The kicker? Tessa had been telling Chase I was her crazy ex, who wouldn't let go. I nearly choked on my coffee. "She told him I was stalking her," I said, blinking hard. "While she was still living with me?" Derek nodded. "Yeah, man. I figured you should know." That's when I asked the question. "Can you get me Megan's number?" He hesitated. "You sure?" I nodded. "Yeah. I'm sure." I called her that night. She was suspicious at first, until I told her everything. Dates, pictures, screenshots. I didn't scream. I didn't call Tessa names. I just laid it out. She was quiet for most of it. Then she said, "I knew something was off. I just didn't think he'd actually cheat." I said, "He did. With my girlfriend. 4 months." She exhaled hard. "Well, ex-girlfriend." I laughed once. "Same." That's when she said, "Want to help me do something about it?" And that's when things took a real turn. Megan wasn't playing around. She was calm, just like me, but behind that calm was a fire I hadn't seen in a long time. She'd been with Chase for 3 years. Lived with him. Paid half the rent. Took care of his dog. Planned to marry him. And now she had proof he'd been sleeping with someone else. We spent the next week collecting everything we could. Old messages, emails, posts, receipts. I had access to some of Tessa's cloud backups. She was the type to reuse passwords and never log out of shared devices. I got into her Google Drive, found a folder labeled Trips. Inside were photos and travel plans. Hotel reservations. One of them was for a weekend in Milwaukee with Chase. Booked during the same weekend she told me she was staying with her mom. Megan set the stage. She told Chase she was planning a special dinner at home for their anniversary. She asked him to be there by 7 p.m. sharp. He agreed. I picked up Tessa earlier that day. Told her I wanted to talk things out. Told her I missed her. She seemed surprised, but she jumped at it. That should have been her warning. We got to Megan and Chase's apartment around 6:45. Megan was already inside, setting the table like nothing was wrong. I brought Tessa up under the lie that we were going to grab a drink first with some mutual friends nearby. When we walked in, Chase was already there, opening a bottle of wine. He looked up and froze the second he saw me. Then his eyes moved to Tessa. She stopped walking. Her hand dropped from mine. "Megan?" Chase asked, looking panicked. "What the hell is this?" Megan didn't say anything. She just turned her phone around and hit play. A screen recording of Tessa's text to Chase. Her voice on a voicemail, calling him baby. Pictures of them in bed together. The hotel receipts. Chase's mouth opened and closed like he forgot how to speak. Then Megan turned to me and said, "Your turn." I pulled out a folder. Inside was a copy of the lease from my house, with Tessa's name removed. She'd left when she reset, and I used that time to take her off everything. Bills. Insurance. Even her gym membership I had paid for. "You don't live with me anymore," I said. "You're not welcome back." Tessa's face crumpled. "Wait, Kyle, please." I handed her a small envelope. "I packed your stuff. It's in a storage unit. This is the key and address. You have a week before I stop paying for it." She tried to speak. I kept going. "I told your mom everything. Sent her the proof. She's not answering your calls because she's ashamed. She told me that herself." Tessa's eyes welled up. Chase looked like he wanted to vanish. And then Megan dropped the final blow. "You can both leave," she said, pointing to the door. "Together. Since you like sneaking around so much." Either of them moved. I said, "Get out," she snapped. Chase muttered something, but Megan cut him off. "Take your trash and go. And don't forget the dog. He's yours now." The door slammed behind them. The silence was heavy, but it felt clean. Megan and I didn't speak for a while. Just stood there. Two people who'd had their hearts broken by the same pair of liars. Eventually, she said, "Feel better?" I thought about it. "Not really. But at least I don't feel stupid anymore." She nodded. "Same." We kept in touch for a while. Grabbed lunch once or twice. Nothing romantic, just two people helping each other put the pieces back together. I don't know where Tessa ended up. I don't care. Last I heard, she tried moving back to Madison, but Holly had cut ties after the flower post went viral. And Chase? I heard from Derek that he got fired from his finance job. Megan had sent the company a nice, detailed summary of his extracurriculars. As for me, I'm still in Rockford. Still running my shop. Still picking up the pieces, but I'm smarter now. I listen more closely. I trust more carefully. I made the mistake of believing someone's words instead of their actions. I won't do that again. Sometimes people say they need to reset. Sometimes what they really mean is they're already gone, and they just haven't told you yet.